And then bringing the Dewgong into the Golem makes me think they're extremely weak to Golem in the back, which is very good for Graveler, because here it comes. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Ox here with another video. If you're new to the channel, we do upload Pokemon Go content mostly related to PvP, so please consider subscribing to the channel if that is of interest to you. And if you're a returning subscriber like Mark's son Pogo, thank you for the support. In today's video, we are taking a look at the Holiday Cup 4Go Battle League Season 6, and this is a theme cup in which only normal grass, electric, ice, flying, and ghost types are allowed to partake in. And I am running a team today which went positive for me in all 5 sets and brought me over 2900 MMR, and that team is Rockhole. Double Rock in the back, Altaria in the lead, Alolan Graveler, and Alolan Golem. This team surpassed all expectations, and it's my first time using this kind of line with the Double Rock in the back, and it performed really well. And I don't know if this success will continue past today or if it'll even be working at the time this video comes out, but when I ran this team, I was running into a lot of teams that had Marowak, Dewgong, Skarmory, Altaria, a lot of things that were double weak to rock in the back. The team seems like it has potential, also seems like it might be easy to counter in the future if people adjust to it, but for the time being, if you have these Pokemon available to you, I would recommend testing it out because it's performing quite well. If you guys enjoy this type of content, please smash that like button. It really helps the channel grow. We're going to take a look at my first 5 battles with this team, in which I came back from some pretty difficult leads. So without any further ado, let's jump into the first battle right now. Alright, so let's jump into these battles here, and once again, let me say I do not have much experience with this team. In fact, I got this idea from Wallower. I believe he ran a team like this in Halloween Cup if I'm not mistaken, so shout out to Wallower, amazing content creator and pretty much the inspiration behind this team here. So first matchup, Waterbug 8, we got an Altaria mirror match here, and basically what I want to do is switch into one of my rock types. However, this is the first time playing it out, and I was thinking, do I want to try and catch the Sky Attack? So that's what I tried doing. Obviously I failed at that, so decided to let the Sky Attack go through, and I'm just going to switch in. Didn't get to catch the move, but it's totally fine. Bring in the Graveler here, and I'm still debating between whether Graveler or Golem is the better switch in. In this situation, I brought in Graveler. Probably Golem might be better because I think Graveler is a bit better late game, but I might be totally wrong in this assumption here. Either way, the opponent actually stayed in, which allowed me to take out the Altaria here, and now I see a Wigglytuff come in, which is pretty difficult, so I'm just going to go straight for the Stone Edge here. I think this is a mistake, probably should have went for the Rock Blast, obviously expecting them to shield there. Would have been better if I could have got off 2 moves there, but it's okay. If Stone Edge did go through, it would have been really good. I bring in Golem now. Obviously, Golem doesn't have a great matchup here against Wigglytuff, but I do have a shield advantage. Probably going to have to use that here, and I'm hoping that I could get rid of this with some health left on my Golem, because at this point, I'm assuming they're quite weak to Golem in the back. So I'm going for the Stone Edge here. You can see I actually don't have Rock Blast on my Golem. I'm running Stone Edge and Wild Charge. Again, not sure if that's the correct move, but I switch here into Altaria to throw this Sky Attack, which I'm hoping will KO the Wigglytuff. Now that they have no shields left, it is enough. They bring in the Marowak here. And you can also see I'm running Dazzling Gleam here. That is a mistake. I switched that to Dragon Pulse after this match. Didn't know I had Dazzling Gleam on it. But yes, I have Dragon Pulse now. So Altaria here. I think the opponent's play here might be to farm down, but it's very tricky because I might get to another move, or they might be afraid that I'm going to farm down. Bone Club wouldn't KO anyway, so I didn't use the shield there. Saving that shield for the Golem here. I'm going to have to shield up this Bone Club here. And my play here basically is to farm down with 2 Volt Switches because I don't think I'll get to the move. And fortunately for me, I am able to farm down there. So at this point, I was thinking, okay, team worked so far. Not too bad. It was an Altaria lead, but kind of messy situation there. We managed to play through it. Wigglytuff was a bit of a challenge, win that game. Cast here in the next matchup, leading a Dewgong. Obviously a very difficult lead for us, so we switch on immediately. This time I bring in Golem. So I'm testing things out here, trying to see which one I like more. And the opponent brings in a Sableye here, so I'm going to go straight for the Stone Edge. Now, I think maybe opponents expect me to have Rock Blast here, and maybe that might benefit me having Stone Edge, but either way, I do get the first shield here. I'm going to shield up this Sableye for sure. I kind of want to win Switch Advantage if I can. I think shielding here and getting to 2 Wild Charges might be able to do that for me. So you could see I do get to 2 Wild Charges. Gonna throw this first one here. Let's see if the opponent chooses to shield. If they do, I'm gonna throw the second one. They let it go through. So I win Switch. They bring in Dewgong. I'm gonna get off the second move here. This is definitely going to force a shield from the Dewgong. And then bringing the Dewgong into the Golem makes me think they're extremely weak to Golem in the back, which is very good for Graveler, because here it comes and Graveler is going to work. Now, at the time, this did not seem like a water pulse to me. I believe you need 6 ice shards to get to water pulse, so I took the bait. It was an icy one, obviously I get debuffed, but now I have to shield the second one because I didn't throw before this move, unfortunately. Water pulse this time would have definitely knocked me out. Opponent stays in here, so I'm going to knock them out with, I believe this is the Rock Blast here. Yes it is, and it actually did not KO, so this Volt Switch, they switch out, it goes towards the Froslass. And I go here for the Rock Blast, which is a mistake. I definitely could get to the Stone Edge because this Froslass just came in. Not going to get to a move. I bring an Altaria here, trying to preserve the health on my Graveler, and I know this Froslass has to throw immediately. So it's likely not going to farm up too much energy. Dragon Breath is still chunking away. Bring back in the Graveler. Going to be able to farm down here with 2 Volt Switches. And now the Dewgong comes in, just farm it down with Volt Switch. We take another game there, off to a 2-0 start here, and things are looking pretty good. Z-Stein 80 here, match number 3. Let's jump into it. Altaria into a Stunfisk. So this is a situation where you cannot switch out of Altaria, and I have to stay in here. Obviously, neither of my Pokemon in the back have a good matchup, so I like seeing the Stunfisk stay in here too, because at least I'll be able to get rid of it now. And I'm hoping that there's nothing in the back which I'll need my Altaria for, and my 2 rock types could take care of that line. So let's see what's going on here. The Stunfisk looks like it's running Thundershock instead of Mudshot, which is, I guess, better for the 2 in the back, but still Mud Bomb is going to be more than enough to deal with those 2. So definitely going to survive this. Don't think I'm going to shield. No, I'm not. And I should be able to get to a Sky Attack here. Now, if they shield, I'd be in pretty big trouble, so I was really hoping they did not shield this. They let it go through. Now I'll be able to farm down. I win Switch, which isn't too important. They bring in Haunter, I switch out into Graveler here. Don't want to get behind on energy. And I'm over farming here. I'm not throwing, I want to get to 2 moves. And what's unfortunate about this is that the opponent's actually at 2 Shadow Punches now, and he's going to win CMP because I didn't click the move yet. So he's going to throw back to back. And now I have to burn my second shield. The opponent is actually going to be able to let this go through if they want. So let's see how they play this out. Really depends on what they have in the back. They do choose to shield, so now they're going to be forced to either burn their second shield or let this go down. And you can see in this situation, the opponent actually does choose to shield. And now that's going to allow me to actually farm down before they get to another move. So in a sense, it was kind of wasted shields for the opponent there, but they have a Skarmory in the back. So now it kind of makes sense why they're so afraid of this Graveler. And with me having a Alolan Golem in the back, this is pretty much game over. I guess a lot of the Skarmorys now might be running Flash Cannon instead of Brave Bird because of this meta currently with a lot of ice types and whatnot. So we could be seeing some Flash Cannons from a lot of these Skarmorys, but either way, way too much to come back from there. A pretty dominant win, and we take that game off to a 3-0 start here. Next matchup, Althea 274. It has started snowing at this point. The hour just changed. Altaria into Dewgong. So gonna switch out here, play it like the other matchup. This time I bring in the Golem, and it looks like the opponent's actually staying in here. And I'm trying to count the ice shards. It did not look like they got to 6 here. So I'm gonna let this first move go through, not expecting it to be a water pulse. It is an icy wind, and to my surprise, they're choosing to stay in. So I'm going to go for the Stone Edge here. Didn't want to debuff myself yet at this point. The shield does come up, and we see a Marowak come in. When they bring in Marowak into my Golem, I am convinced that they are extremely weak to Golem, and my Graveler is going to have a really easy time in the back. They let that move go through. So at this point, I'm probably going to let this go down and just bring in my Altaria. So Bone Club KOs. And I'll bring in the Altaria here, farm up a little bit of energy, and now my switch timer is back up, so I will be bringing in the Graveler as soon as that Dewgong comes in. I'm expecting their third Pokemon to also be weak to Graveler, so I'm feeling pretty confident about this situation here. Opponent is going to throw a move again. This is too early to be a water pulse, so I'm actually going to let this go through. It's an icy wind, and we do get debuffed. That's totally fine. Gonna get to this Rock Blast. If they're super weak in the back, probably gonna use a shield here again. They do. I am totally convinced that you're weak to this. It's an Altaria, which isn't the weakest thing, but I'm going to be able to get off this Stone Edge here, which is pretty huge. And now I need to maintain that shield in the back for my Altaria as well. So we have 2 shields here. If this is Dragon Pulse, it's obviously going to hurt, so I don't want to take any chances here. Going to shield this up, farm it down, and then basically save my other shield for the potential Icy Wind from that Dewgong in the back. And this Sky Attack should be more than enough to get rid of this Dewgong at this point. Even if it's not, I have a shield. I should be able to Dragon Breath down. It is low enough, and we're going to be able to take this game. So I'm pretty happy at this point. We're 4-0 with the team that I'm just trying out in a pretty high elo. These are battles in the 2800s right now. So I was very surprised. Roll flew here in the next matchup. Altaria into a Shadow Aerodactyl. Wow. So I bring in Golem here. that was a horrible match to be in, and we see Venusaur come in. That's a pretty rough matchup for Golem too. I didn't throw here, which is a mistake, and I believe what I do here is also a mistake. I don't shield. I let all that energy go down without pressuring that Venusaur at all. I figured Altaria could come in here, but honestly, this Venusaur has way too much health. I'm going to be forced to throw energy anyways because Sludge Bomb is still going to hurt quite a bit. So I think I played that a little bit wrong. Let the Golem go down a bit too early, and that definitely was a mistake, I feel. But it is what it is. Gonna throw the Sky Attack here. Definitely gonna KO. So I'm not even hitting all the bubbles, but still should be enough to knock out this Venusaur. And would expect them to bring back in their Shadow Aerodactyl, which I'm looking to switch out of. My switch timer comes back up, bring in Graveler, and they switch out into Obstagoon. Obstagoon is a big problem for this backline, of course. And at this point, I'm forced to shield. And I'm going to have to start throwing these Rock Blasts, trying to get shields, but this is a really tough spot to come back from here. I am at 2 Rock Blasts, so let's see if we could get the shields here. Would expect them to shield at this point. First Rock Blast gets a shield. Going to go for the second one, and if I'm lucky, I will be able to get to a third, but unfortunately for me, a third Rock Blast will not be able to KO an Obstagoon in this range, and this Obstagoon is farming me down completely. You can see there I did get to this Rock Blast, which is huge, but it doesn't KO, which is pretty bad. And Obstagoon's gonna farm me down. Now at this point, I think my only win condition is to farm this Obstagoon down, have the Sky Attack ready for the Aerodactyl in the back, but I don't know how much energy this Obstagoon has, and the opponent switches out immediately before I get to the Sky Attack, so they are going to win this game. Very well played on their part, great awareness, and we're going to lose that game. But we start off with a 4-1 set in the Holiday Cup running this team, which honestly I was pretty happy with. So overall, the team seems to perform pretty well with the current meta. There seems to be a lot of Marowaks, a lot of Skarmorys, a lot of things that are weak to Double Rock in the back, and it applies a lot of pressure. Now the Vigoroth, Obstagoon backline teams are also very popular, so that is a big problem for this team. But with that said, it still is playable, and I think for the time being, this team has some play. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, commenting, subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.